In the world of technology, few names hold as much power and influence as Apple. From a humble garage startup to one of the most valuable companies on the planet, Apple's journey is a tale of innovation, risk-taking, and relentless ambition. But behind this empire was a visionary, Steve Jobs. His ideas, passion, and obsession with perfection shaped the modern world. How did Apple rise from near bankruptcy to global dominance? The story begins in the 1970s with two young men and a dream that would change everything. Stay with us, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as we explore the extraordinary history of Apple and the mastermind behind it, Steve Jobs. The beginning. In 1976, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, along with Ronald Wayne, founded Apple Computer in a small garage in Los Altos, California. The goal? To revolutionize personal computing. Wozniak, a self-taught engineering genius, designed the Apple I, a simple yet powerful computer that attracted the attention of tech enthusiasts. But it was Jobs' vision and marketing skills that turned it into something much bigger. With the release of the Apple II in 1977, Apple made computing accessible to everyday people. The sleek design, color graphics, and user-friendly interface set it apart from the bulky machines of the era. Sales skyrocketed, and Apple became a rising star in Silicon Valley. But the real transformation was yet to come. The success of the Apple II led to Apple's first public offering in 1980, making Jobs and Wozniak millionaires overnight. Investors were eager to see what Apple would do next. As competitors like IBM entered the personal computer market, Apple had to innovate faster than ever. Jobs had an idea that would change computing forever. A user-friendly machine that anyone could operate without complex commands. The birth of the Macintosh. By the early 1980s, personal computing was evolving rapidly, and competition was fierce. Jobs, ever the perfectionist, envisioned a computer that was not just powerful, but elegant and easy to use. In 1984, Apple introduced the Macintosh, changing the industry forever. Its graphical user interface and mouse-based navigation were revolutionary, setting the standard for future computers. The now iconic 1984 Super Bowl commercial, directed by Ridley Scott, painted Apple as a rebel against the corporate giant IBM. The message was clear. Apple was here to challenge the status quo. However, internal conflicts within the company led to a dramatic shift, one that would alter the course of Apple's history. Despite the Macintosh's innovation, its initial sales were underwhelming. The high price and limited software support made it difficult to compete with IBM's lower-cost machines. Frustrations within the company grew, and the board of directors began to question Jobs' leadership style. His demanding nature and clashes with executives led to an internal power struggle that would soon reach its breaking point. Steve Jobs' departure and Apple's struggles. In 1985, Apple's board decided to remove Steve Jobs from his managerial role, effectively forcing him out of the company he co-founded. Jobs was devastated, but he didn't let failure stop him. Instead, he went on to create Next, a company focused on high-end computers for business and education. While Next didn't achieve massive commercial success, its technology would later play a crucial role in Apple's revival. During this time, Jobs also acquired Pixar, a struggling division of Lucasfilm. Under his leadership, Pixar revolutionized animation, producing groundbreaking films like Toy Story, and ultimately becoming one of the most successful studios in Hollywood. Meanwhile, Apple struggled without Jobs. The company released a series of underwhelming products in the late 1980s and early 1990s, losing market share to Microsoft, whose Windows operating system became the dominant force in personal computing. Apple's financial situation worsened, and by 1997, it was on the brink of bankruptcy. The return of Steve Jobs and Apple's comeback. Desperate for a turnaround, Apple made a bold decision in 1997, bringing Steve Jobs back as CEO. His return marked the beginning of one of the greatest corporate turnarounds in history. Jobs wasted no time in reshaping Apple's vision, cutting unnecessary projects, and focusing on innovation. One of his first major decisions? Partnering with Microsoft to secure a crucial investment, ensuring Apple's survival. Then came the game changer, the iMac. Launched in 1998, the iMac wasn't just a computer, it was a statement. Its sleek, colorful design and simplicity made it an instant hit, bringing Apple back to profitability. Jobs had proven that Apple still had the potential to be a leader in the industry. With momentum on his side, Jobs pushed forward, focusing on products that combine beautiful design with powerful technology. He knew that the future of Apple wasn't just in computers, it was in redefining how people interacted with technology. The era of innovation, iPod, iPhone, and iPad. Apple's true dominance began in the 2000s with a series of groundbreaking innovations. In 2001, the iPod changed the way people listened to music. With iTunes, Apple created an ecosystem that made music more accessible than ever before. The iPod wasn't just a product, it was a cultural phenomenon that redefined an entire industry. Then in 2007, Jobs took the stage to introduce a device that would redefine technology, the iPhone. A phone, an iPod, and an internet communicator all in one. It was more than a product, it was a revolution. The iPhone's sleek design, touchscreen interface, and App Store turned it into the most popular consumer device in history. It set new standards for the mobile industry and turned Apple into a trillion-dollar company. In 2010, Apple did it again with the iPad, creating an entirely new market for tablets. Each innovation not only disrupted industries, but also cemented Apple's reputation as a leader in design and functionality. Steve Jobs' legacy and Apple's future. Tragically, in 2011, Steve Jobs lost his battle with cancer. His passing marked the end of an era, but his influence on Apple and the world remains. Under new leadership, Apple continued to grow, launching products like the Apple Watch, AirPods, and advanced versions of the iPhone, iPad, and Mac. Tim Cook, who succeeded Jobs as CEO, focused on expanding Apple's services, including Apple Music, iCloud, and the App Store. The company also entered new markets, such as augmented reality and electric vehicles. Today, Apple remains one of the most valuable companies in the world, with billions of users across the globe. From a garage in Los Altos to dominating the world stage, Apple's journey is proof that innovation, perseverance, and vision can change the world. The lessons from Jobs' leadership continue to inspire entrepreneurs and dreamers everywhere. The story of Apple and Steve Jobs is a powerful example of vision, innovation, and resilience. Founded in 1976 by Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne, Apple started in a garage and grew into one of the most influential tech giants in history. Despite early success, the company faced challenges, including Jobs being ousted in 1985. However, his return in 1997 marked a turning point, leading to groundbreaking products like the iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad. Apple revolutionized technology, blending design and functionality to shape modern digital life. From personal computing to smartphones, its influence is undeniable. Today, Apple continues to innovate, setting trends in software, hardware, and artificial intelligence. Steve Jobs' legacy reminds us that failure is just a stepping stone to success. What do you think is Apple's most game-changing invention? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Apple's history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about the world's biggest companies and the visionaries behind them. Stay tuned for more insights into the tech giants shaping our future.